everyone, and welcome to Raising Roots Abroad. And I'm George. Have you ever wondered what life is really like after leaving everything familiar behind? Today I'm sharing the honest truth about moving from the West to San Carlos City, Philippines, straight from my own experiences. And we will refer to one of our recent videos with a few of my kids born here in the Philippines province. So I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. All right, cool. I just had to check what we look like here. So I'm going to share my screen and get into it here. This is from a video that I just made pretty recently, like a couple weeks ago, I think. And it's called Do I Regret Leaving the West? Life in San Carlos City, Philippines with my kids. So let's pull this up. And I just want to break down this video. It's like a 14-minute video, but I'm just going to show parts of it. And I'm just going to talk about some of the things I said in there that have already, surprises that have already happened since this video, like cultural shocks and things that you can never prepare for when you leave the West, when you relocate from somewhere in the West to the Philippines. So let's get right into this, and hopefully you guys can hear the sound. Well, give me a sound check if you can, okay? And I'll get to the chat in just a little bit. It's been storming all night. This super typhoon is here. And here in the Visayas, where we live in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental, we're protected by, on the map you can see, the storms will come harder into like the Cebu area. And we're across the ocean from that, and we're kind of on a shelf. So we get hit, but it's pretty safe here compared to other places. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I hope you guys can hear it. Let me know if the sound's good in the chat. Let me know if you can hear it. Let me just look at my share on this and make sure. I'm going to stop sharing for a second and then share it again. I want to make sure you guys can hear and I have the sound on. Okay. If you guys couldn't hear that, just let me know. But so the bottom line is, I said we're pretty safe here in San Carlos City. And there on the map, you can see the rain because the typhoon at this time, let me shut off I have my Telegram on, so there, it's pinging all over the place. Yeah, so I said we were protected here. It's pretty safe in San Carlos City. And then I just made this video, and then 2 days, I believe, after I made that video, maybe 3 days, I'm not sure exactly the time, Cebu got hit with an earthquake, and it was a really substantial earthquake, like right around just 6.9. And our house was swaying here, and we thought it was going to go down. It was really scary, and it lasted for over a minute in our house. And we have cracks all over our house. This house is built really strongly. It's a really good structure, but we have cracks all over, and it was swaying so much, and we couldn't wake up one of our daughters, our 13-year-old daughter, Zanea, who's in this video. And so we were trying to wake her up and I thought the roof was going to come down, and we did all the wrong things, even though I know I've been prepared what to do during an earthquake. And also I've been in one in San Francisco in the 90s that was big, and I did everything wrong there also. And I didn't really panic, but I just made sure we got everyone out. But instead of going in the safe places, we ran out into the street, which isn't really the right thing to do because of the falling trees. And everything worked out okay for us here. But Cebu was, a lot of people got damaged there and people died. It was just massive. And then right after that happened, the Philippines got hit, Cebu and the surroundings, which included us, by a typhoon, and the rains were substantial. There's flooding. And so I wasn't prepared for that all to happen, all at once. And then we were trying to check on our family, the extended family in Calatrava area, in San Ysidro, and other family members in San Carlos, and family members in Cebu. I need to shut off this sound here. Okay, that should stop now. So I couldn't prepare for that at all. And when you come to the Philippines, people can make videos and tell you things about their experiences, but you don't know what will happen day to day. There's so many things that are unpredictable wherever we live. And you're going to experience things from your own experiences that are going to be totally different from someone else. Even if I'm talking here in San Carlos City, in the province, another expat could be somewhere else in San Carlos City and have a totally different experience than mine. So I can't tell you what to prepare for or how you should live your life. It's just what you have to go through. So let's continue on this video. In the Philippines. But some people ask me in the community, they leave comments about, do you feel safe in the Philippines? Do you think you made a good choice? You've been there a long time now. Do you think you made a good choice leaving America, leaving the West to come to the Philippines? And do you have regrets? So I'm here with my kids today, two of our children. This is Zanea. If you haven't seen her on videos, she's 13 years old. And so that's my daughter Zanea on my right side there, and on my left side is my son David. Zanea's 13, and she's the one we couldn't wake up. And we were trying to wake her up. She just wouldn't wake up. She's such in a deep sleep. And so it really delayed us to get outside to be safe because of that. And we did eventually wake her up, but pretty crazy. So let me continue with this. And this is David. And David is, in a few days, is going to be, you're going to be 10? Wow. Okay. Before we go into that, though, let's just ask the kids what they think of the Philippines, and maybe if they'd rather be anywhere else in the world, or not like that, but if they're interested in going, just speak up a little. Okay, so Zen, we'll start with you. What's your overall thoughts on the Philippines?
In my opinion, it's a peaceful and
You can't hear us, Zen. You have to talk louder. They won't go to hear.
like in my perspective or opinion, I like Philippines because it's sure it's hot, but I like it because it's a peaceful, like not really. But I would say this like war.
Not many what?
Not many wars.
Wars? Oh, you mean like it's peaceful? You don't have like a lot of conflict here?
Yeah, and like not too much conflict.
Okay, I want to speak to that also. So, living here in the province, she said that it's very peaceful. There's not too much conflict. But she said wars, but she meant not so much conflict here. And she really enjoys that part of it. And what I can say about the province compared to my experiences when I lived in Cebu, where I met my wife, Caroline. And by the way, Caroline and I have been together since 2011, and we have 4 children here in the Philippines. We have uh, David, who you saw there, and Zanea, and then we have Chloe, and we have baby Rain also. And Chloe is 16 years old, and baby Rain is our youngest, and she's just about 6 years old. So they range in age from 5, almost 6, all the way up to 16 years old. And when Caroline and I were in Cebu, we didn't have kids at that time, and it was a pretty hectic life compared to living here in the province, because it's not as big as Manila, but it's a pretty big city, and there's lots of traffic. So whenever we were going places, we didn't have a car at that time, but we would be taking either a taxi, a motor cab, PD cab, a motorcycle, and the traffic's the same. It was a lot of traffic. And then also it's more expensive there than in the province. So food was more expensive for us there. If we decided to have a meal out, it's more expensive. And then also in the city, there's hospitals, like a lot of hospitals, and really good hospitals in Cebu. Here in the province, you have less hospitals. And if something happens to you where you need some specialized care, which could be like maybe you have something related to, you need an operation, you had an accident, like a broken leg or even something like that, that might be considered minor, you're probably going to have to travel more than 2 hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours away to get to a hospital. Either you're going to have to go to Cebu or Bacolod from here in San Carlos to get a specialized treatment there. Here in the province, it's just general. And so those are things that you probably want to think about if you decide if you want to move, if you're going to come to the Philippines, if it's for you, if you want to move to a province or rural area compared to the big city. So, but as my daughter Zanea said, it's very peaceful here in the province. It's very slow life, and there's not traffic. It's great. When I take them to school in the morning, it's just pretty fast. Just takes me like around 7 minutes to drop them off, and then to return home, and then to baby Rain's the last. I will take her after I take them. And that's it. And they also, the other thing to consider is they go to private schools here, which are a little costly, more costly. And the public schools is pretty much free here, but the public schools are really good. The private schools, I don't know. The difference would probably be it's maybe a little safer. Maybe you would say that. Why do people want to go to private school? Maybe safer. I don't know the real difference, because public schools are really good here too. There's less students, more focus in the private schools. Just in my experience, but probably the better education would come from the public schools here, which I don't know if people would agree with me, but just my thoughts on that. So let's continue with this video. And now we're going to ask David, and David's kind of confused here. We'll just listen to what he says, and then I'll interpret his thoughts. You see yourself? Wow. I hope you guys can hear it. The sound's kind of boxy here, and also there's a super typhoon going on, but we're not here. We're not hit like I think some other places are getting hit. Just hope everybody's safe. I was thinking about, we have a friend named Ging, and she lives here. Let's just go back. Ging. Just hope everybody super tight. The sound. or maybe living one day besides the Philippines? Or do you think you see yourself staying your whole life here in the Philippines?
I'd see myself staying my whole life in the Philippines.
You see yourself, wow, I hope you guys can hear them. The sound's kind of boxy here, but you know. So what he said was he wants to, unlike Zanea, when I asked Zanea, we didn't really watch that part, but when I asked Zanea, she said she liked to go to Australia or Switzerland, those countries, to see what it's like there. She said she doesn't really know about those countries just from what she's seen on social media. And she said they just look beautiful. And that's her reason for going, wanting to go, maybe experience that later in her life. And then where David, he said he doesn't want to go anywhere. He'd rather just stay here in the province and not ever leave the Philippines. He said he's not interested. And when I talk to David, sometimes his thoughts are all over the place. He just turned 10 years old just a few days ago. But he says he just wants to stay here with his family and has no interest to move somewhere else. At least that's where he is now in his life. He feels safe here with his parents and he loves his school. He also plays football, which is in the West, it's called soccer. In America, we call it soccer. And he loves that. He loves to do that. And he has friends here. And the difference here in the province is he plays outside a lot. He's always outside. He likes to play with one of the neighbors, is his friends, and he has a few other friends in the neighborhood. So he'll go outside and play in the dirt and play basketball, do all kinds of things like that. Whereas if he was in America, he probably wouldn't be doing things like that. Last time I was there, I didn't see kids outside at all. When I saw kids, they were inside their houses and on their phones, like they are here on their phones. But at least here in the province, it reminds me of my childhood when I was in America. When I was a kid, until I was 8 years old. When I was 8 years old, I moved, but up until 8 years old, I was born in Texas, and then not even a year old, I moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with my family and was there till I was 8. And I ended up going back to Texas later on in my life. But I really enjoyed playing outside and in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We lived in a place called Monroeville, which at that time was pretty rural. It was on the outskirts of the city, and behind our house was trees and forests where you could play. It was really safe. And I had a lot of neighbor friends that we'd ride bikes in the streets and then play in those forest areas in the water. And when it snowed, we would just put on our skis and our sleds and play outside on the hills there. But I'm sure it's changed. That was like in the early 70s. I'm kind of aging myself here, but I really miss those times. And it reminds me of that here in the Philippines, even though there's no snow. It's very hot, but the kids can play outside and there's always things to do. And there's always events at the schools and extended family. We just travel just maybe 15 or 20 minutes to San Ysidro, which is in Calatrava. And we have our family there that you've seen in some of the videos. When we go there, we go out on they call them pump boats here and go fishing with her brothers. We see the grandma, they see their Lola there. My mom, I call her my mom, and we visit there. It's very fun. And then there's extended family all over there, all Caroline's brothers and sisters. She has a lot of brothers and sisters, and we eat, cook, celebrate birthdays, just really enjoy. And how I can compare that to America or in the West, and I'm not saying America is bad or the West is bad. It's just you don't have the extended family anymore. You don't really have the nuclear family anymore. People are so busy just trying to make ends meet. Usually, like in my experiences, we live very far away from our parents in different states, and we worked all the time. And so I worked all the time, and I didn't really get to see my parents very much. Sometimes talk to them on the phone. And if I was going to do things like I was doing jujitsu, and I would take my eldest daughter, Tenzing, who's in her, she's like 26 years old, I believe now. And she's back in America, but I would take her to jujitsu. We do that together, and we travel a little bit, and then we do those activities. But I go back to work, and she didn't really play outside, and we didn't have the support of the extended family. So America's great. If you are lucky enough, blessed enough to have a good job, and you can make money if that's what you're interested in, and if you like to be on your own and not have a lot of familiar support in most cases, then it's good. It's good for you. But if you're like me, who wants to be married, wanted to be married, and I've been married to Caroline, been with her since 2011. We're always going to be together, and then have the support of the extended family, and feel safe that I always know my kids are going to be looked after either by family, if Caroline and I are not here, or when they're at school, they're safe there. I know they have people looking out for them. They have great teachers, and they have guards out front, armed guards that are there to protect them. There's not school shootings here in the province, and the kids cannot go outside. They will not let them go outside if the parents instruct them not to let the kids leave the grounds. So for Chloe, she's 16 years old. She can go out with her friends. We trust her, and so that's okay. She goes out for lunch, no problem. But if anything happens that's unusual, they're going to let us know. The school will call us, or people from the school will call us right away. And so I feel very safe with that. We're not going to have strangers at a daycare taking care of our children, which I really worried about in America where I was. That was one of my main worries. Was my daughter okay there? And the other thing I don't have to worry about in my situation, and I'm not saying that people have the same situations as me. Everybody's situation is different, but I have a wonderful wife, and we've been together like 15 years, and I don't have to worry about her. She's going to leave me. I'm going to leave her. We don't have to worry about those things. We're just focused on the children, taking care of the children, doing the best job. And we're both faith-based, with the help of the community, with the help of the extended family and the community. We all have the same types of beliefs. Like, we believe in God. We humble ourselves when we have disagreements. We're not gonna hold a grudge against anyone if we have a disagreement. It's like when my wife and I fight, and we're like Tom and Jerry, the cartoon. Sometimes we get in pretty big fights, but we always forgive each other. And since we have the same goals, the same values, our character is just, we know it's not about us, it's about the kids, and we're faith-based, so it's easy, right? It's not easy. I mean, the challenges of the multicultural lifestyle for my wife, it's very challenging to be married to me because I'm from a totally different culture and I think differently. But over the years, she's learned to understand me most of the time. And for me, being here from the West, I mean, of course, I'm in the Philippines, so I need to understand the culture here, understand my wife, and acclimate to the culture, acclimate to the language the best I can. And I do that, but I'm not perfect, right? So those are some more of the challenges. So anyway, let's go back to certain parts of this. The other thing I wanted to talk about today was people are asking me if I feel like I made a mistake by coming to the Philippines. or if I will change my mind, or the happiness. And earlier in the week, I made a few other videos about where is happiness? Am I happier in America or the Philippines? And my answer to that question overall at the end of the video, if you go to it, you can watch the video, but if you just want me to sum it up for you, happiness isn't really anywhere I would go in the world. I feel like happiness comes from inside, from the inside out. So if you're not happy with your life, if you go somewhere else, it probably won't bring you the happiness you're looking for. And the reason I woke up here in the Philippines was because my situation has changed. My situation changed where I worked. I kind of went into solitude and worked on my own self, and worked on my own thoughts and my own. So I want to stop there, and we're going to talk about that for a minute. And hey, Therese, good morning. I see you're here in the chat. You guys if you're here in the chat, leave a message, ask a question, and we'll leave that up. I hope you guys can see it. I don't know if it's popping up in the chat or not. Let me look on my end. Therese, is that popping up? Can you see that on your end? Yeah, I think you guys can see it because I see it on my end here. Okay. So, Therese, good morning. Thanks for coming. Thanks for leaving a comment. Ask me whatever you guys want. What I was going to do. Oh, thanks, Therese. Thank you so much. Okay, good. You guys can see it. So what I just said in that part of the video, I said it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You bring your mindset basically with you. And if you're looking for happiness, you leave whatever country you come from. I have to pause that on my TV because I can hear the sound. Whatever country you come from, right? That's what I learned. Yeah, I couldn't, if I'm not happy in America, I'm not going to be happy here. And if I'm causing problems in America, if I'm doing bad things, when I come to the Philippines, I'm going to be doing bad things. If I'm doing good things there, then I'll be doing good things here. You bring your mindset, right? That's pretty obvious. But what I mentioned, what I was talking about after that was when I came here, I ran into a lot of obstacles my first year because I wasn't prepared. And when my first year here, I had a girlfriend. I had someone that for a couple of years I was talking to online, and then when I came here, the first mistake I made was I got married right away, and within the first year it went bad. It wasn't a good match for either of us, and it went bad. I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault. I'll just say it's my fault because I should have prepared better. When I first came here, I caused a lot of problems for myself because I rushed into things. I didn't know the person personally. Within a month, I was already married when I came here, and when we started living together, it was obvious it was a very bad match for both of us because you would know those things if you were like dating someone naturally. If you were dating and then you spent like what Caroline and I did later when I met her. I had to go through the problems I created for myself, or had to go through an annulment, which took a long time. And it created a lot of obstacles for me because I ended up losing most of my money and having to go through all the legal paperwork with the annulment. And then really to do it in the right way, you have to find people to help you. And I found people that they didn't help me. They just took the money at the beginning, and then they didn't do the right things for me. And then eventually, after stumbling, bumbling, and then meeting the right people, I was able to get an annulment, and then everything stayed legal with that, with the annulment. And then my passport expired, and my visa, I was having problems with my visa, getting it extended. It was just a mess. And if I would have come here, I'll just say, if I had to do it again, and if I had to tell someone, if not someone else, because I can't really give advice, but if I had to tell my younger self, when I was 40, 44, 45, I think 44 years old when I came here, and now I'm 60. If I had to tell myself, younger George, how would you do this right? I would say, don't meet anyone online. George, do not meet anyone online, because even you meet them online, you might see them on video every day. You're not gonna live with them. You're not gonna go out with them. You're not gonna meet their parents in a natural way. It's just not gonna happen. So I'm giving advice to myself. This is not for anybody else. You could just listen to my mistakes and decide for yourself. But I would say, come to the Philippines. Come for, like, if you can stay for a number of years, great. But if you only could come for a month to 3 months to 6 months, I would say do that, younger George. And when you, like, just what I did when I met Caroline. When I met Caroline, I ended up getting to know her. We ended up living together, and we ended up knowing that we were a good match over the years. And then I ended up meeting her family, meeting her mother, her father, her brothers and sisters, going to San Ysidro, coming to San Carlos City. And I ended up doing things in the right way my second time around, but I fell and lost most everything. And it was very humbling. And the things that I found after I fell, and I made videos about this, but I haven't really talked about some of the things I found. Some of the things I found was, I found connection with Caroline's family, not just Caroline, but her family, her mother, her father, her brothers and sisters. And then also Chloe. I've known her since she's been 2 years old. She had to learn to learn about me, like to get to know me, not just me getting to know her. She had to learn to trust me, and that's not hard, or that's not easy for a child that was not born to you. But I made a video about that too. Is I consider Chloe my daughter, just like my other kids, and I even say, not by blood, but by heart. By heart. And I look at Chloe as just same as I look at Zanea, David, and Rain. She's my eldest daughter, and she calls me Pops. So, and that was one of the biggest challenges, because I always was thinking, is she okay with me? Will she be okay? Will she consider me as her father? I mean, I'm not expecting her to do that, but when you get real deep in it, you want to be close to I wanted to be close to Chloe, and it took a number of years, because it took a number of years. She's very slow to trust people. I noticed that. And she's like, what do you call that kind of person? When they keep to themselves, they're not super talkative, and what's that called? Well, maybe someone in the chat can tell me, what's that called when a person just kind of keeps to themselves? They're not, introverted. She's introverted. And so she's not going to, and the Filipinos, for the most part, the ones that I know and that I met, they're not going to, in their culture, they're not really going to tell you what they feel. They're going to keep their feelings inside. But when something happens to you, if something bad happens to you, like you get sick and you need to be hospitalized, or just a typhoon happens or an earthquake, you're going to find out how much people care by their actions. And that's what's different here. In America, people maybe or more will tell you how they feel. They'll tell you with their mouth, where in the Philippines they don't. So I feel like over the last few years, it's just Chloe and I are very close, and I trust her, and I feel like she trusts me, what I can see, and so it's turned out good. But you know what? That doesn't happen overnight. You cannot force your beliefs on people from another culture, especially if you're the one that's come to their country. You're the outsider at the beginning, and you always are going to look different compared to the Filipinos. So you're going to stand out. So, but what I disagree with, a lot of people will say you'll never be accepted. I don't agree with that. If you give yourself time and you have a family here in the Philippines and you end up getting married, if you give yourself time, get yourself through the first 2 years, then get yourself through the first 5 years, and then get yourself through the next 2 years. So 7 years, get yourself to 7 years. I'd say if you can make it to 5 to 7 years, you're probably going to make it. The odds are you're probably going to make it, but a lot of people don't make it that far because they will bring their baggage from America or the West, and they will force, oh, well, she's saying this and doing this, and these are the signals. So in America, you break up. They're going to break up. They're going to love you today and then love someone else next month. That's what happened in my cases. That's why I didn't want to be with someone in America. That's why I wanted to come somewhere else, because I didn't trust to have a family there. But when I came to the Philippines, it took me about, I would say, 7 years to get rid of all that stuff, to really let go of it, to really trust my wife, to really trust my extended family, to trust and not carry the baggage from America. It took me I'm going to be honest, 7 years. I'm not going to act like I'm holier than thou. I carried a lot of that, and I didn't trust. A lot of our fights were because here in the Philippines, they do things differently, of course. And so I was reading it from the West, from America, and I had to get rid of that. And so, yeah, now 15 years later, I don't have those same issues. And my wife worked through those issues with me. Not every Filipina is going to work with you through those issues, especially if they don't love you. So it's up to you. It's up to you to attract the right people in your life and stop blaming other people for the things that go wrong. Look at yourself. So that's the next thing I said in the video. Before I get to that, let me get to the comments here. Oh, hey, Marie. Marie's here. Hey, boss. Nice to see you here. YouTube again. Yeah. We have this small channel here, Marie. I think we're just over 20,000 subscribers. It's a small channel, but we're growing. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Marie. I hope you're okay. I think you're still in Cebu. I'm not sure if you went to America or if you're there in Cebu. I hope you're okay, and all your family in Cebu that's still here in Cebu are okay. Can you tell me you're okay? Marie, she worked with us for a long time. She still works with us. I think, Marie, how long have we known you for? Around 5 years? And she's in Cebu, so I just want to make sure she's okay. Charisse, very interesting story, but for me, sometimes challenges and failures lead us in the right path, in the right person. Just like what you have shared, those failures lead you to Caroline with amazing family. Yeah, totally agree with you, Therese. Great point. You're right on with that. You're spot on. That is a really good point coming from a Filipina. And you know, you guys, if we watch the YouTube videos and listen to all the expats, what they say, most of the things I'm watching, I don't know about you guys, are more on the negative end of Filipinas. And I'm tired of it. I want to that's why I like to share my story, because it's just like Cherie said. It ended up from the failures, which are not really failures. They're learning experiences and growth. That's what I would say once you are able to get through them. And I think I fell just about as far as anybody. The people that have gone homeless and all those living in a squatter area, I think I fell just as far as anybody has that I've seen the stories. Um, but just like Tree said, they lead us to the right path, to the right people, just like my wife and her family that you never could have imagined. And my mindset shifted because of that. They left you to Caroline, amazing family. Thank you, Therese. Thank you so much. Oh, Therese, can you switch the video, please, so I can see you better? Oh, let me just shut that off. Maybe let me see what I can do here. Therese, is that better? Because I want to leave the comments up. Can you tell me if that's better on your end? If I do it like that? I can go to my mobile phone and look, but just tell me if you can see me better or if I need to just lose the video altogether. I wanted to go over a few more points, but we can, if it's getting in your way, we can definitely lose it. Let me go to my channel and look here. Okay, now I see you better. Great. Okay, thank you, Therese, for telling me that. I appreciate it. I'm just learning how to use this, and I used it for the last couple of days, but now we're on the paid version. This is the real deal. I'm going to be using it, so I'm going to look at what screen I got this in. Okay. I'm doing great. Almost 6 years, boss. Always your ambassador. Thank you, Marie. Okay, so you're doing great. Are you in Cebu, if you don't mind, or are you in somewhere else in the world? Because I know your families, a lot of your families in the America. You guys leave your comments here. There's people watching. Leave comments, ask questions, anything. I want to go back to the video. I wanted to just share a few more things. So I'm going to make the video bigger just for a few minutes, Therese, and then I'll come back so you can see me. Inner conflict, I would say. I had a lot of conflict. I think we have conflict with our thoughts, with our thinking. I believe we have something like over 60,000 thoughts. Oh my God. Of course. There's the ads. Let me skip over this, you guys. Okay. In a day, it might even be more than that. And they say a lot of those thoughts are negative thoughts. And so I focused on those thoughts. I set out to focus on those thoughts, like where my life was focused on a lot of negative thoughts. And when I was focused on that all day, then that's what my physical life would be. A lot of negativity, a lot of drama. But when I changed the seeds of those thoughts, I would say, I changed the seeds of those thoughts to cultivate like harmony, happiness, abundance. So how did I do that? Let's make this smaller. So how did I do that? Those things I just talked about. How did I how did I get rid of the negative thoughts coming here to the Philippines? How did I do that exactly? So what I did was before I came to the Philippines, I was meditating and going to retreats, doing Zen meditation and Tibetan Buddhism, but Zen meditation. I was going to retreats for days, like sometimes 3 days retreats, sometimes 7 days retreats, where you just pretty much meditate and do work, where you can empty your mind. But even though I always believed in Jesus, and I'm Catholic by faith and by, I guess, by human standards, I went through everything to become that. And when I came to the Philippines, I'm Catholic, right? But even though I went through all that meditation, did all those things to slow down my mind, to do all that, I couldn't get rid of my negative thoughts. They're always there, but I had to find a way, which was letting go and just kind of let God. But how do you do that exactly? I mean, for me, how did I do that? I'm just going to tell you what I did. So it wasn't going to church every week. It wasn't doing that, and then praying in church, and then coming home, and then just treating people good at church maybe, and then go back into your life. And then would I be nice to people? Would I be mean to people? How would I treat myself? And then my thoughts were, I still get the thoughts to do, like the negative thoughts that come into your mind, like I'm not good enough. Um, and at that time, I would say I couldn't attract a person in my life because I'm not good enough. I couldn't attract um, a wife category person, and I wouldn't have enough money. I'd run out of money. So I told God, if I'm supposed to be homeless in the Philippines because of my poor choices, then so be it. It's nobody's fault but my own. And so what I did was, when I pretty much lost everything, I had a few hundred pesos left. I walked to a church in Cebu called Carmelites. I don't know. It's an old church, but I walked there, and there's nuns in there. And what you can do during the week, this happened like on a Monday, something like that. I walked to Carmelites and left a note. I found paper, and I asked someone if I could borrow their pen. And I wrote a note. And what I said in the note was, for whoever's going through this, whoever in the world, wherever they live, reside, if they're a person that's visited another country and they fell, may they rise up again. May they all have happiness and abundance, true happiness, and may they know you, God, and may they know your whisper, and be able to connect their heart, mind, and spirit with the right voice, not the wrong voice. And I wrote it down, and I put it in there, and I left. And I don't know if that was ever prayed upon, if they prayed upon that, but people told me they would pray upon that. The nuns that are in seclusion there. And so I walked back to the park, and I had met Caroline before at a place where she worked. I met her, and I had gone back there like a few days later, and asked if I could talk to her, but she wasn't there. So her friend had told her that I was there, and I gave her my number to give to Caroline, like if she wanted to text me or something. But I wasn't expecting that, because I wasn't in the right space to have a relationship. And anyway, I went back to the park, and then within a few hours being there, I just had a thought to return back to where Caroline was working. And I didn't expect her to be there or anything. So I went back there, and then she wasn't there. So, okay. So then I just came back, and then I don't remember exactly how it happened, but Caroline found me, and we ended up, she told me she's just going to take me out of here and take care of me. And I said, no, I'm not in the right place for you to do that. And it's not good for you, because I don't have anything to help you and I can't help you at all. So it's not good for you. But anyway, she refused, and we we ended up going to a place called Mumbling, Alaska, and it's a squatter area. And her mother her mother's has property there, and her family stays there. Some of her family was there, and so they helped us. They helped us, and we ended up getting our own, like a squatter area there in these rocks with these rats. Uh, and there's no like bathroom or anything like that. It's just a very small room with no fan or anything. We lived like that. And then, um, anyway, just I don't want to just draw this out, but I ended up over some time with the support of Caroline and her family, ended up being able to go back to America, work as a nurse, and send money. And after like a year's time being there, be able to come back, and then returning one more time in 2013, and then returning to America to work again for around another year, and then return back in 2014 for good. And what happened though, I just started praying a lot, and not just praying, living in my prayer. And I tell Caroline how I say it is living in the wish fulfilled. So I learned how to pray like in the right way. And so what I did was I would pray for things that we would want, what Caroline would want, what her family would want. If someone got sick, if someone needed money, if someone just needed prayers or whatever, and for us to have abundance to lift everyone up. So I started seeing myself being abundant with a lot of money. And my reason was I rethought the way I saw money. So I didn't think that people were greedy that had money, because I was always thinking people were greedy. If they had a lot of money, you shouldn't have a lot of money because you would become greedy and your motivation would become bad. But what happened was I would hear God's whisper when I would meditate in pray in solitude, and God would say, rethink your thinking, George. Money is a material thing. It comes from me. It is not bad. But what's bad is when bad things happen with money is because people have a lack of money, and maybe it's because of their situation or because of their mindset or their culture, or maybe it's because the other side of the spectrum is people that have money, their motivation is bad, and their heart is, because their motivation is bad, just one seed of planted one seed of a bad thought leading to those bad thoughts lead to bad actions. So the motivation, if it's not a pure motivation to lift yourself up so you can lift other people up, that's probably the purest motivation there is to want to make money to lift other people up along the way with you. And that is your motivation. So no one can shake that motivation if it becomes faith. And so that's what happened to me. I learned to rethink. And the way I did that was I would say affirmations from the Psalms that I would find in the Bible, and I would repeat those affirmations over and over again. And then I'd make my own affirmations that would come from whispers, God's whispers, that aren't written by man, that are not of this world. And I'm not anything great. I'm just a simple person. But I realize that anything that comes after I am is God. God said that to Moses. I am the great I am. And I'm not going to tell you what that means. That's for you to find out, because I'm not the one to preach that to anyone. But what I found out in my life was when I had affirmation saying, I am whatever it is. If I would say I am poor, I am full of anxiety, I'm not good enough, I'm not going to ever have enough money, I'm not going to have a good job. Those are I am statements, and that's what God's going to give, because God's so kind, doesn't know how to say no. So I turn those thoughts around to I am abundant, I am rich, I have a lavish lifestyle that's of mutual abundance to other people. I would say those things, not for greed, not just for myself, but to lift up my family and then to someday lift up other people. So I'd see myself, and I call it the wish fulfilled. And Neville Goddard, have you ever heard of him? He calls it the wish fulfilled. And that's where I learned that word. But where the place I was didn't come from man. It didn't come from what people said. If I would listen to people, what they were saying, that I would never have accomplished what I've accomplished, not because I'm great, but it was through the divine. Meaning, if I would listen to even what Caroline, she would say, we can't do that now. We have to do this, because she was worried that we wouldn't have money to feed our children. Like in that time, we had Chloe, and Zen was being born. Like Zen was born at that time, and so she was worried we wouldn't have enough. And I told her, I said, it's up to you. You're the one that has to either have faith in me or don't believe me, but you're not going to stop me. So either agree with me, and if you don't, just step aside. And we're going to be together, but I'm going to do this. So it's done, because I know that God was telling me what to do. And so what happened was, I had a job working for a guy named Brent Daniels, and Marie probably knows this story, and because she's known me for so long. And what happened was, I had a job, and you can go online. There's a video of Brent Daniels that talks about what happened because of this, because of what happened, because I listened to the whisper of what God was telling me to do. So I worked for a guy named Brent Daniels, and I was making calls online for him, and he was in real estate, and he had his real estate license, but he wanted to sell off market properties. And at that time, they didn't call them wholesaling yet. No one knew that word, wholesaling real estate. And so I was making calls for him from the Philippines, and he was in Arizona at that time. I mean, he's in Arizona, and I believe I was his first cold caller. There's another guy named Cody. One of us was his first. I was either his first or second. But I started listening to what God was telling me, because I would fall asleep saying, at this time I was affirming that I was abundant. I am abundant. And I am wealthy. I am healthy and wealthy, and I'm successful. But before I go to bed, I would see exactly what I wanted to happen. So I'd see myself on a Skype call with Brent, because we would talk to each other every week. We would talk in a meeting, and he would ask me, and he'd have his whole team there, so other people that were assisting him there in America, and he would ask me if I need anything, or he would instruct me what he'd want me to do on my calls. If I was doing something right, he'd tell me. If I was doing something that needed improvement, he would tell me. So I saw myself on these Skype calls that we already had every week. So it's very easy to visualize this, since we're already doing it. And I saw myself on that call with him, in a video call, and him telling me, George, you've made me millions of dollars. I'm so happy. I never want to lose you. How much do you want? And then I saw myself asking him, I want $30 an hour. And at that time, I think I was making $6 to $8 an hour, something like that, maybe $8 an hour. And I told him on the call, give me $30 an hour, and I'll never leave you, and I'll be happy, because that will be plenty. And that was, at that time, that was my mindset, to ask for that much. And that's what I saw before I went to sleep. So I was imagining that before I went to sleep every night. And then when I'd wake up, I would say, I am healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm successful. I am healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm successful. The I ams. And then within a couple months, he made a video. That's the one that is here, and I'm going to leave it in the chat so you guys can actually watch that video of you. I mean, for proof, I don't know. Let me just do that later. I'll just leave it in. I'll put it in the description, or I'll drop it in this chat before this is over. But on that video, he just talked about me, and I had made him millions of dollars. I made him more money than anybody else ever did. And what happened was that he made that video a few years later, because what happened, the amazing things that happened from that is I had that call a couple months, maybe it wasn't even a couple months. I had that call with him, and then he said those exact words, and I cried because that's exactly what happened. It was just proof to me that God is so powerful, and God is not somewhere in the sky. God is everywhere in all things, in the trees and the streams, and also within me, because I'm made in his image, just like you are, just like all of us are, if you believe it or not, right? But it was proof, and I didn't need to see that proof. It happened. And he told me on that call, George, you made me millions of dollars. What do you need? And so I said, I had the balls to ask him for $30 an hour. Like, what is that? Like from $6, maybe $8 an hour? Maybe I was making $6. I don't know. So what is that? 5 times more? If I'm making 8, it's almost 4 times more. And he said, yes, without hesitation. Yes, I will draw that up. And I was working on Upwork as a digital nomad. And he went in there, and at that time I worked on Upwork so long that they weren't really taking anything from my fees. I think 5% or something kind of small. But he included that, whatever that percentage was, so I really got $30 an hour. And I cried, and my wife couldn't believe it. And then her faith grew so strong in this, what I'm doing, that she started doing the same kind of practices. She's Catholic, but we're not doing any blasphemy or anything wrong. We're just doing in a understanding we have. What people read, maybe you would read in the Bible, maybe people would get different understandings, but we got the understanding in a deeper way through experience that you cannot shake that kind of faith. And so I stopped listening to people 100%. I listened to my wife, but just like when she told me, don't do it, you should stop because we can't feed our family. I don't listen to everything. And my wife and I have an agreement on that. So anyway, that's what happened. And I need to find that video for you. And it's pretty easy to find it. Just if you can give me a moment, I'll find it. Oh. Okay, just give me a moment, and I will pull up this video. I will get the link. Here it is. Okay, tell me if you guys can see this. If this comes up I'm going to drop it right in the chat. If you're the kind of person that has a super rational mind and is very analytical, you're probably going to need to see this. I think I dropped it in there twice. Okay. That's the link. It's in the chat, you guys. Someone open it up and let me know if it works. And if you go to about the 10-minute and 16-second part of the video, you'll see all you need to see. Because he's going to talk about, because at this time, and I put 10:16 there. It's in the chat, you guys. You can just click on it in the chat. And if you go to that part of the video, 10:16, you can watch. And then what happens in this video is, at this time, even more miracles happened. If people would call them miracles, I think. But for me, they're not miracles at all. It's just understanding God's laws and following them. So at this time, I had left Brent, or I was working for him part-time, and then Caroline started a virtual assistance business, and I'm just the founder. It's her business to stay legal in the Philippines. And this was in 2018, I think, is when we brought the business to a legal standard where we pay taxes and all that. It's in Caroline's name. And I think he made this video around 2019. And he talks about there's one of our VAs that he got 2 deals for $60,000 from one of our VAs, and that she worked for me, George, who worked for Brent, and he talks about me, and he talks about the virtual assistant with those 2 cold calls, and then Brent after that talks about I made him millions of dollars, I made him more money than anybody else. He actually says it on that video, so it's there. And Brent Daniels was very famous in the wholesale real estate world, and this was my rise again. During my rise again in the Philippines, which people would say is impossible. Many people told me that. And no, it's not impossible. It happened. So anyway, that's that. There's the proof. And let me click on that link myself. Can anybody tell me if it works in the chat? I'm going to stop sharing this one screen also. And I'm not so clear in this part. In the other part, the other camera, I'm more clear than this webcam. If anybody wants to drop, tell me if it works. That link, if it works. Yes, boss, successful real estate man, Mr. Brent Daniels, your mentor. And then when you became established and had your own real estate VA business, you became my and all our agents' mentor. Well, I don't know about that, Marie. Thank you so much. You're kind. You guys became my mentor. Filipinos are much better than I ever could be at making the calls for American clients. You guys are my mentors. Marie, you have an insane voice also. That many people working real estate, many businesses have told me that you are insane, unbelievable, and they never want to lose you. So thank you. So Marie, did it work? Did the link work? The one I left in there? I hope it works, because if I'm leaving proof, it better work. Hi, Michael. Hi, I'm new to the channel. I live in Tres Marites, Cavite City near Tagaytay for over 2 years in the Philippines. I'm from Chicago. Good channel. Hey, Michael, thank you so much for coming by, for stopping by and leaving that awesome message. How are things over there for you in Tagaytay or near Tagaytay there in Cavite? How are things for you, Michael? You've been here 2 years, so I think you've been pretty okay. Are you retired? Can you tell me a little bit about you? I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope you will come. You will come here to the channel, and maybe who knows where things will lead. Whenever there's an expat here, I want to learn, especially the ones that are here in the Philippines, what they're doing. Maybe you want to come on the channel here, Michael. Maybe Marie wants to come on the channel. I can invite you guys if you want to come up here with me. Hey, yes, boss, the link works. Thank you, Marie. So we have proof. When people are here live, they have proof. And if they watch this video later, they will have proof that this is a true story. An amazing success story We always are hearing, because what sells on the news is the demise of expats, the failures, the crazy things we do. But here's a success story, because I will give all kudos to God and to my wife, Caroline, and her family for being so supportive of me during the worst time of my life. And we rose together. I want to hear from the community now, you guys. I got everything up here. I can see your comments. You guys can see me up close and personal. And I'm inviting anybody that wants to come up here. I can invite you. Just send you an invite link. Since I have a subscription now, you guys can come up here. Marie or Michael, if you want to come up, whoever's here, let me know. I'll invite you. Great. Yes, here. I'm retired from the U.S. Post Office. I am permanent. I have my SRRV visa. I'm here for life. Congratulations, Michael. So you're on the retirement visa, the SRRV. I'm on the 13A retirement. I'm a permanent resident also. So congratulations to us, Michael. We made it. Michael, are you on the SRRV? That's a retirement one. So are you married to a Filipina? Excuse my ignorance, because I don't know on the SRRV if you have to be married or if you just can be retired. I think you could just be retired and not be married. But you know better than me, because I don't have that one. Michael said, yes, not married. Not married. Yes, you can be retired and not married. Well, congratulations, Michael. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here in the Philippines. You're in a beautiful part of the Philippines there. And I hope you subscribe to the channel so we'll see you here on these lives. I'm going to do these pretty much every day now. This is my channel now. We're going to do the live streams. And pretty much every Saturday, I have a video come out. But I don't know if it's going to be every single Saturday going forward. But for the next 2 weeks, yes. Charisse said, I think SRRV is an independent visa. Can be used married or not, just sharing. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Charisse. That one, you don't have to be married just to retire. You have to have a certain amount of money, I think, in your account. And then I think they still check every year, if I'm not wrong. Michael, correct me if I'm not right on that. But you're here. You're on a permanent visa. And the difference for mine's a 13A. So the route I went for my permanent visa is to be married to Caroline. That route is, yes, you have to be married with the 13A. You're right, Charisse. Michael said, yes, I'm subscribed. Thank you so much, Michael, for subscribing. I appreciate you. Hey, does anybody, Charisse, do you want to come up here? Do you want me to invite you on? Does anybody want to come on here and we just can talk in front of the community, talk about whatever you want? And I'll do away with one of these screens and just put you on the other half. Who wants to get invited up here? It's as easy as sending you an email. with the link. And then you click the link and sign into a free account here. I think you just have to confirm your email. SRRV can be valid if you're even below 50, but has different fees. Yes, that just got approved recently. And yes, you're right. The fees are very expensive. If you're 40, I think it's from 40 or something. Yeah, it might be just 50, below 50. Yeah, but that one's very expensive. If I came here when I was 40, because when I came here I was 44, and yeah, I think I could have got that one, Therese. So I invited Therese on here. I invited Michael on here also. Therese said, I'm not ready yet, Lo. Just enjoy listening and watching you. Oh, thank you, Therese. I understand. Shy. No problem, Therese. Let's just talk, you guys. Tell me something you want to talk about. Tell me something about your life. That's the best thing about being in the Philippines. What's the best thing about being in the Philippines, Therese, in your life? Maybe the top 3 things, if you can't come up with one. Michael, what's the top 3 things, Michael, being here over 2 years that you could share with other people that are interested to come to the Philippines? I'd love to have you on here, Michael. Maybe you could give out some information to people that are thinking about going on the SRRV, if they want to go that route. Oh, Therese said my audio is not good on her end. Is it? I mean, you're hearing echoes? Yeah, because I have my sound on both cameras. So let me shut off my sound here. On one of the cameras. How about we just take that camera out? I'm sorry this camera is not as clear. Is Therese, tell me if that's better. If the echo stopped. Michael said, my fiance, the culture, and the weather. Wow. My fiance, the culture, and the weather. Therese, is that better, the sound? My fiance, the culture, and the weather. So you're not married yet, but you're getting married. So how long have you known each other, Michael? You've been here over, I think, 2 years, right? So that sounds pretty good. That's your top 3. Let me go back to some of these comments I missed. I'm 64 and the fee for military is a lot less than all the other ones. Yeah, that's right. Military really gets a big discount, rightfully so. Okay, Therese, is my sound okay? Yes, sounds good. She just answered. Okay, thank you. Family oriented. So these are her tops. Family oriented, very hospitable, keep on smiling every time. So Therese is Filipina. She's telling family oriented. This is what she enjoys the most about the Philippines. Family oriented, very hospitable, keep on smiling every time. Yeah, totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. I think we went over a lot of those in the video. The family oriented and the the resolve of the Filipino resilience. They're not like in America. I was always before. One of the things I changed about myself that I didn't know, I wasn't aware that I was doing it. But when I look back on my life, I was always complaining about things in America. When things didn't go well at my job, I was complaining. When I didn't have enough money, I was complaining. When someone did something I thought wasn't right, I was complaining. Well, being in the Philippines for so long and being around people that don't do that, they just move on. They just move on, keep smiling, just like you said, and not complaining. But it doesn't mean there's not complaints, but I'm saying overall, very different in your culture and really appreciate it because that part of the culture I really appreciate. The family I really appreciate. The resilience I really appreciate because that helped me to be stronger. And then the extended family really appreciate the culture for the people in the culture that I know around me that when we have celebrations or things at school or just knowing my neighbors. And then when the earthquake came, when the typhoons come over the years, always checking in on each other. I appreciate those things, just like what you're saying, Therese. Okay, let's see more here. Michael said, okay, Therese said my sound is better now because I killed one of the cameras. Michael says, we have been together since I landed when we had 8-month long distance relationship before I landed. Okay, cool. But you did things in a lot smarter way, it sounds like, than what I did because she's your fiance and it's been 2 years, not 2 weeks. So Michael's really, I think the mindset of Michael at 64 years old is a much different mindset than young George at 44 years old. Good job, Michael. Congratulations again. Okay, so do you guys want to expound on anything? Like, do you want to ask me anything? You have any questions for me, Michael? I would like to reach out to you. Is there a way to reach out to you? Because I have an interest, maybe kind of a selfish interest, to try to pick your mind for, or ask you to be on a video, to be on a live stream, if you like, and pick your mind. But if you don't want to do that, at least pick your mind. And also, you guys, I'm going to drop a link here because I have a link for a form for your stories. And I'm really trying to get people that are here in the Philippines that have come here or Filipinos themselves to leave their stories, to talk about their stories. Like Michael, your story of how you ended up here, how you met, your long distance relationship. Just tell me the story. I want to leave a link for you to fill out a form, a simple form, and I don't gather any information. And then Charisse or other people that are watching or that watch this video, if you have stories you can tell me about your life in the Philippines, the good, the bad, the challenges, anything. Michael, your challenges. That's what I want. So let me just give you guys this form link. They're in most of the video descriptions. Let me just pull it. Yes, it's still here. It's still working. Okay, so let me drop this in the chat here. You guys, please make sure this form works. It's in the description and it's just a form. And only if you want me to reach out to you, will I contact you. Only if you want to leave me your email, will I have your email. You could be anonymous. And I do not collect anything unless you give me the rights to do that. And the only thing I would collect would be to reach out to you so I can talk to you about your story. Or if you didn't leave me all the information, just to talk to you about it. If you leave me all the information, then I don't need to reach out to you. And for anyone that wants to come on a live stream, let me know. In that form too, you can let me know. Please check the form and make sure it works. Okay, thank you, Therese. It works. And it looks like Michael also tested it out. Thank you. I made that form around a month ago, and I'm asking people in just about every video, I want to share your stories, please. And Michael, that's a way you can reach out to me. If it's okay, you can tell me yes or no. Thank you, Therese. Therese just opened it. Okay. Let me switch my camera to put the good one in here and get rid of this one. The other one's clearer. Okay, let me switch this camera. I'll get back to the messages in just a minute, you guys. Wow. Okay, I'll just wait a little bit and see if it lets me switch. Okay, let's see what you guys are. Nosebleed ako, Sir George. Oh, Gani, Therese. Sorry kaayo. Dugo kaayo. Mustaka. Therese, Mustaka. Hey, Therese, pila ka balay ang nimo? Pila ka balay ang nimo? Since you have nosebleed. Mabuti po. Dili kabalo Bisaya. Mabuti rin, salamat ikaw. So you can answer that one, but I think you're going to answer in Tagalog, right? Mabuti rin, salamat ikaw. Bummer. Let me try. Still trying to put my other camera here. Okay, what are you guys saying? Oh, oh, gamay lang Bisaya, huh? Gamay lang, yeah? Okay, that's funny. It's okay, Tagalog. Let's talk Tagalog then. You know a little Spanish too. Wow, that's really good. Michael is asking what part of the Philippines. I'm in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental. Michael, I'm in a province here, San Carlos City. It's across the Dagat, across the ocean from Cebu. So I take a boat about about 20, 30 minutes across to Toledo, and then I'm in Cebu. And then from Toledo, if I want to go downtown Cebu, it takes me a while to get there on a bus, or if I have a driver drive our vehicle here. Caroline don't like me to drive far. I have a license though. Yeah. Do you know Negros Occidental? There's Negros Oriental and then Negros Occidental. Then here is Bisaya speaking part of the country, and this like Cebuano, like in Cebu, little different dialect. Puro kanti lang Ilocano, Pangasnices, Bisaya, Spanish, English. Wow, you speak Daghan Kayo. Daghan kayo languages. But you're saying Kante, so I think Kante means small, right? But I think you speak good. You speak good those other languages too. But most every Filipino speaks Tagalog, right? The national language. So right on, Michael. You speak so many more languages than me, than many Americans. Ako, well, if I say it right, fluent lang ako say English. Tapos, kaunti lang sa Bisaya. Tapos, just gamay. Kasabot ko, Bisaya, like, if I listen to people, I understand what they're saying, but when I try to speak, goodbye, gamay, gamay ko, gamay kabalo ko, gayo ulo ko, dugay kayo, daghan years, like almost 16 years, then gamay kabalo Bisaya. Tagalog, wala, gamay, or so I something. So I'm going to try to say it in Tagalog, but you'll probably laugh. Maybe you're not going to answer my question though. I think in because we say pila ka balay ang na nimo, then I think it's bahay. I think bahay is house, right? Ang bahay ang maurun, or that's not right. I know bahay is house in Tagalog, so. Michael says, or Therese said, I've been to Iloilo twice, been to Davao once. Wow. So when you're in Iloilo, you said you speak a small amount of Ilocano, right? Is that what they're speaking there? When you went there, are they speaking Ilocano? Yes, a lot of dialects here in the Philippines. Yeah, Gani. Like a lot. So many languages. Yes, Filipino is our national language. Yes, Kanti means a little bit. So you're near Bacolod. Yeah, we're about 3 hours. If you take the bus straight, it's like could be 5 hours, but there's routes to get there in 3 hours. If we drive there, it's like around 2 hours, about 2.5 hours maybe. So we're not that close to Bacolod. Now I have static. Yeah. Sorry. Let me see if I can fix it. Maybe it's because of the fan. Therese, is that better? Does that sound better now? Hi, Mom. Welcome home. Atu Daddy, Inday. Atu Daddy. Hoy, Rain. I'm on live and it's one. No, it's okay. I took this camera. I took the other camera off. Let me see if I could put the other camera. She said I have static and I'm wondering if it's better now. But let me just see if I can put another. I took the other camera off. There's Caroline.
Hello guys.
Yeah.
Magluto ko.
Asa ako or unsa luto?
I don't know. I ordered something
Oh, you ordered for
for you.
for me?
No,
Ako?
I will start cooking.
Ikaw, it's up to you, Mom.
Yeah.
Salamat kayo.
Ito na ko.
Okay, sige. Okay, let me just try one more time, you guys, with the camera. No, it's not going to let me. Okay. Well, we'll just put the clear camera as an extra. It won't let me on this one. Never mind. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying here. Therese says, yes, I agree with you. Some live in the provinces not fluent in Tagalog. They prefer English. Well, yeah. Some live in the province not fluent in Tagalog. You mean Filipinos? Yeah, they like their local. They like Bisaya. My family speaks Bisaya in the house. Just if they're talking to me, they'll sometimes speak Bisaya, sometimes English. But when they're talking to each other, their mom talks to them, they talk to their mom. They're talking Bisaya. But yeah, they don't speak Tagalog really unless they go somewhere else. If we go to Bacolod, Caroline's speaking Ilocano, I think. She can speak that. She's okay there, but they can tell that I don't know. I don't know if they can tell. When she goes to Manila, they can tell. Oh, you know where we are now or how far we are. Yeah, you looked at the map so you can see. Iloilo, Hilakanan. Oh, yeah, Ilonggo. That's it. They spoke to me. That's what they speak. That's what Caroline's speaking. Ilonggo there. That's what they speak. And also in Bacolod, they're speaking Ilonggo. Hey, baby Rain.
Hello, Daddy.
This is the youngest. If you didn't see the videos, this is our youngest. She's almost 6. You want to say something?
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
I'm shy.
Boot. You're shy?
Yeah.
Where's my kiss? Where's my kiss? Thank you. Where you going? You're going to. Okay. Can you guys hear me now? Yeah, because it's only using the camera sound, not this sound. That's why it's staticky, I think. Let me see if you guys can hear me. Tell me, sound check. Sound check. Sound check, please. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? One, two, sound check. 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 Thank you, Marie. So everyone can hear me? Tell me you can hear me. I'll do better on the sound tomorrow. It's because it's just I screwed up on the sound. Okay, I'm glad you guys can hear me now. Hi, boss again. Sorry I'm not a morning person. I usually wake up after afternoon lunch and most productive afternoon to evening. Today was woken up early because of some delivery. No problem, Marie. Casabuco. Casabuco. I totally understand. Kumusta, Marie? Pagod ka na ba o gising pa? With accent? Pagod, good or pagod ka na ba o gising pa? Baby's crying. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I still getting, someone said sound check again. Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, we're good. Okay, thank you. But yeah, I remember we once talked about doing a regular talk show here. Oh, so do you want to come on like on an improvised show today? Do you want to come on for just a little while? We could just talk. We could just talk about anything. Do you want to come on? You don't have to be perfect. It's just live and it's just a camera and then people see us. That's all. Do you want to come on, Marie? If you want, you can come on and we can do video to video, or you can just come on without video. And just so we can hear you, we could talk. So everyone can hear you. Okay, in the chat, there's an invitation. If anybody wants to come on, just click on that and we can just talk. And if you don't want to show your face, you can just not do video. You can just do voice. So it's up to you guys. It'd be great to have a guest on here from the community. Just click that link. Okay, no problem, Marie. That, I totally understand. I think everyone understands. But when you're ready, just come online because I'm going to be here just about every day. Then we can just talk, and it's doesn't have to be like just improvise. Just talk. Don't worry, I'll think of questions to ask you. All right, Michael, enjoy your food. Have a great lunch. And you'll feel, oh, great. That'll be wonderful. Fill out that link and we'll definitely stay in touch, my friend. Have a good lunch, brother. Talk to you soon. No problem, brother. You're welcome. Thank you, too. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're a new subscriber here. Okay, you guys, I think that's going to be it. We're just about 2 hours in. We're going to cut it off for today. I'll be back tomorrow. And Marie, I know you're not an afternoon person. So maybe I'll go like something like 11 a.m., something like that. But I want to come like in the morning because I have things I have to do like in the earlier afternoons. So I'll probably be on around 11 tomorrow, you guys, 11 a.m. in the morning. So anyway, fill out the form. If you guys have a story to tell, And I love to tell your story like either live or I can make a video about it. If you guys if you check out that link that I dropped in earlier in the stream, scroll back. Scroll back before I shut this off. And there's a form there if you want to share your story with me. Be happy to make a video about it. Or if you're willing, we can even come on live stream and talk about it. But if you don't want that and you want it to be private, we can do it other ways. Okay, that form, if you scroll back, is in the chat. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And we'll say peace out for today. And I'll see you guys on the next one. It's going to be tomorrow. Bye for now.